And welcome in to the Rod and Kale Show. I'm Bob Sanders. There we are. My buddy Kale Hall joins me from the Upstate. How are you? Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, Nat. How are you?
Good to hear from you, sir. We got, to be honest, there's all kinds of stuff we can get into this evening. I sent Kale a text about something that I thought was basically we're at a point now with Clemson basketball that we're going to have a completely new team every year because everybody's transferring. Everyone. The idea of having a player on your team and you bond with that player, and as far as the college ranks goes, and you feel like you develop a relationship with them, and hey, I like this guy. Yeah, that is completely down the shitter. And it is now it's come down to even if you are we love the bug, son. Even if you are a brilliant X's and O's,
what's he saying over there?
he's asking me who loves the bug. That's his nickname. So we all love the bug. That's all. But anyway,
I thought he was saying he didn't give a bug.
Oh no, he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that. But anyway,
the Gamecocks are in the same situation.
Yeah, on that front, I mean,
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing or not.
Well, when I sent you that message, I think Clemson had 4 players on their roster, and then all of a sudden, they're getting the supposedly North Carolina's point guard from last year. Now you say, all right, he's North Carolina's point guard. He's a 5-star prospect. He led the ACC in assists. You think, wow, that's a great player, right? If I just told you that, right, Jackpot? You're thinking, man, this is great.
He sounds like he'd be a hell of a catch.
Hell of a catch. But he has a couple of issues. One of which is that he is just 6 foot tall, and he is considered a defensive liability because of his size. The other is that he led the conference in turnovers. So you can have all those assists, but if you lead the conference in turnovers, not so much.
That's not good.
Anyway,
why
good.
Are you always shitting on short players? You shit on short players a lot.
No, I don't.
You shit. Yes, you did. Yes, you did too. You shit on McNeese State because they didn't have anybody taller than 6'8" on their roster, and they went out there and handed you your buttocks.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know where I'm supposed to go from here on that. You were correct, Jackpot. I was wrong.
I can't help but notice. Half the upstate up here is on fire. You know that, right?
Yeah, Peckerhead sent me a picture of like the smoke haze coming around his apartment building up there.
Clemson 20 miles away, just chugging along playing baseball tonight like it ain't a damn thing.
Oh shit!
It's like something with these natural disasters and them playing sports against crappy teams. They just got to get them in. Just got to get them in. But anyway, hopefully it starts raining up here soon. I think it's supposed to rain Saturday or Sunday, maybe, because they're trying to from what I understand, that they can't really fight this fire on the ground. They can't really do a whole lot for it. It has to be rain or water dumped on it.
Right.
Pretty rough.
It is pretty rough with the fires going on in the upstate.
You can smell it here. I mean, you can smell it. I mean, and you can see the hazy. And my stores, I have stores that aren't maybe 15 minutes from there. So I'm supposed to go up that way Friday. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get up there or not, because that area might be a backup.
Jackpot, can I share something that is I don't know, might make you feel good? Can we take a walk down memory lane for a second? Would that bother you?
Sure.
All right. So this happened in, I can't remember what year. The year the Gamecocks went to the Final Four with Frank Martin. I wanted to play this because it is, let's see here. Oh, hold on. I don't know if y'all can see that. All right. So this is his house. And let's see here. I want to make it.
I've been waiting on something like this to happen to us for 42 years. I feel bad for them too, but they've been there before. They've been there before. We haven't been there before. I don't got no shoes on. Just kill me.
Lord.
Forever. Woo, baby! Caught up in the rain. We're coming for you, baby!
Jackpot. I didn't play that to mock you, sir. I played that because it is it's one of the iconic videos of Jackpot.
First of all, I was almost going to show that because it popped up on my Facebook memories or whatever from 5 years ago. So,
right. Well, I wanted to show that because a lot of folks come here, they see Jackpot when he loses his shit because his team constantly fucks him over. This is one time the Gamecocks did not let him down, and they made it all the way to the Final Four, and Jackpot had to take down his South Carolina flag and run up the street at his house and, eventually showed a piece of his ass by accident, but he was happy as hell because his Gamecocks did him right. That's pretty much the best way to put it, right?
Yep. B. Bean says, was that a Confederate flag? Well,
no. It's a Gamecock flag.
No.
Come on,
man. Who the heck no? We live in a neighborhood, but you don't really have one of those flags.
Come on, Jackpot. You think Jackpot's going to grab a Confederate flag and run up the damn road? Come on, man.
I was out somewhere yesterday. I took a back road somewhere, and I saw one flying in front of somebody's house over in Anderson County somewhere. It was one of those half South Carolina flags, half Confederate flag. I'm like, damn, I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Well, anyway, there you go. Little throwback here on the Raw Show.
Jerry says Jackpot turned on Frank Martin quicker than Kamala Harris turned on Joe Biden. That's a pretty good comparison. It's a pretty good comparison, man.
I think that's fair. And to be honest, I feel bad about that because we looked up Frank Martin's coaching record, and I thought that firing Frank Martin was a big deal. He was only, looking back at it, he was 24 games over 500 at South Carolina. Okay. He did take you to the Final Four. There's that. But at UMass, he's 47-47. He is the one Final Four appearance was his best postseason appearance. So you can make an argument that was kind of a
he's average as shit.
Yeah, I mean he had five tournament appearances, 10-5, but in one of them he won 6 games, 5 games, whatever it is. So,
however many.
However many there. It's anyway, the whole thing with Frank Martin I have to walk that back because I thought that he was the best thing, and apparently he wasn't. So, but anyway, so there you go, a little walk down.
Hush, hush.
Walk down the
There's
lane there.
a little kitty that's been hanging out outside our house for the past, I don't freaking know, week or so, and it just drives this damn dog up the freaking wall, man.
Right. What, Ziggy?
Yeah, it just drives him up the wall.
Yeah. Well,
he barks at it, and he's loud as fuck, and it's just absolutely annoying. Will you please stop?
well, you gotta love Ziggy. Anyway.
Yeah, I love Ziggy.
You don't love Ziggy fucking showing his ass, though. We don't need that.
No, he's like, I mean, you know, we've seen this cat. We've been looking at it for a week, okay? Okay, buddy?
Right.
It's not going anywhere.
So, I didn't really prep you for this, but I thought, with Clemson, I thought, and, we can verify this by the text message that I sent you on Thursday morning of that game, of the game against McNeese. I had Clemson picked to go to the Final Four, and I literally text you, I'm an idiot. I'm changing it like 30 minutes before the bracket started, and you text me back, they're not going to the Final Four. And I thought, oh, Jackpot's just fucking with me. But, it was one of those, this Clemson basketball team has let me down so bad because I thought that they had the perfect mix. They had size in the backcourt, a dynamic point guard that can do all kinds of stuff for them. They had, two big guys that could do things for them. They were seniors. They hit free throws. They played defense. They were good on offense. One of the best Clemson teams I've ever seen. And they go out and lose to McNeese, which most people don't know is in the state of Louisiana. So this is one of the most embarrassing Clemson losses ever. Do you have a Gamecock loss that you still are like, damn it, how in the hell did that happen?
Yeah, when I made it to the tournament back at it's been a long time, back in the late 90s, when I made those two tournaments in a row, and they fucking lost as a 2 seed, a 3 seed the next year in the first round.
Is it you can do football too, but was it Richmond that you lost to, the Spiders?
We lost to Coppin State one year. Coppin State. Yeah. Where the fuck is that even at? We lost to Coppin State the first year. And 97 and 98, they lost to, it was the Richmond Spiders.
So Coppin State University is in Maryland, sir. A publicly historic black university in Baltimore. It's in Baltimore, Maryland.
Nothing good comes out of there. 12-Foot Ninja said there was a big Confederate flag on I-40 in Burke County, North Carolina. Yeah, I'd never seen that one before, but there's a huge one on Interstate 81 in Virginia, also too. It's real big there.
Big Barney Ross coming through and big here with he hates Christian Laettner. Like I remember that Kentucky team, and I remember how good they were, and they were a stacked team, and Laettner got them there at the buzzer. So there's that. Anyway, I mean, for football, for me, I remember losing. What was the game that we just got? There was one game we got throttled by Maryland one time, but Maryland ended up winning the conference that year. Losing to Syracuse.
Remember when you lost to Marshall?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was the year after we lost to Marshall.
Well, but Marshall that year finished like in the top 5. They had a lights out team, so it ended up not being that bad of a loss. Walk It Off Sports with a super chat. Thank you, sir. Says Jackpot. I tagged you on Twitter with the Josh Page video with his new interviews with coaches. Awesome series. He's interviewed Kirby and Beamer so far.
Oh, thank you for the super chat too, by the way. I have to check that out. I saw where he interviewed Beamer. It's a long one. I haven't had a chance, but I'm gonna probably watch that tomorrow while I'm working. Which I just plug in my AirPods and work while I listen to stuff like that. So
yeah, well, thank you for that, sir. That's some good stuff. Pecker
Matthew says he doesn't really get the appeal of Pate. I don't know.
Some people like Pate and some people don't. I think he walks a thin line of he tries to please everybody, and sometimes he can come across as vanilla. Is that fair?
Yeah, he comes across as disingenuous because you can tell he doesn't want. Well, I don't think he wants to step on. I don't think he wants to give out to any inside information. I don't think he wants to step on any coach's toes, because if he does, then he's going to lose the privilege of being able to do shit like interviewing the Shane Beamer and sitting down and interviewing a Kirby Smith. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna.
They're not gonna do those interviews with you unless you're gonna be, kosher with them and let them talk about how great their program is.
I'm surprised Kirby had time to sit down and interview with him. I mean, you'd figure he'd be out scraping somebody's bail money together or whatever the fuck he does in his spare time.
He used some of that money they have their own personal bondsman at Georgia. He doesn't have to go down.
Do they have a jail NIL?
Like a bondsman sponsors NIL? That could be funny. Hi, Jaden.
I mean, his dog, the bounty hunter,
yeah.
Is he supporting Georgia athletics now?
Another super chat.
He's a bail bondsman.
Another super chat from Walk It Off Sports. He said he enjoyed the Beamer one, and of course Kirby's as well. Thank you, Walk It Off Sports. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Super chats. Anyway, yeah, Josh Pate, I had Josh Pate on my show, and he was really cool with me, and just a over the top nice guy. I think he got beat down a good bit with, there was a section of folks that said that he was SEC leaning. I think that you could look where, especially when he would take his show on the road or whatever, there was talk he leaned toward the SEC. In the end, I think he went where he was going to get clicks. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's the industry that he's in. Yeah. If he could go to an LSU Alabama game and they're, number 2 and number 3 in the country, or he could go to, I don't know, pick Ohio State playing Penn State and it's a 1 versus 5 matchup. He's going to, the majority of the college football folks are in the South. He's going to go to that LSU Alabama game. And I don't really fault him for that. Now he's branched out a little bit. He does stuff with the Big 12 and he's all over the place and stuff like that. And I mean, he's trying to do a show for everyone, and that is hard. That is really hard.
Yeah.
So, what do your thing, man?
Papa B says tough for the St. John's athletic director to try and follow up the Patino hire.
Yeah.
Huh? What? Did he quit?
I don't think he quit. I don't think he quit.
What?
I'm not sure what he's talking
about. What, they need to hire a football coach now or something? I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't get it either. Let's put the link out here if you guys want to join the program. There's, we could talk about the loss that still hangs with you. We can go into that. I mean, there's, Big Bunny Ross talked about Kentucky losing to Duke. But Clemson basketball, this is probably the worst Clemson basketball loss. I know people talk about was it Villanova that put us out in the Elite Eight? Yeah, that one was tough, but
that was UConn. You're talking about the one who turned around.
UConn, you're right. That one's tough, but this one was just really hard for me because I really thought they had enough. I thought they had enough to make at least a run to the Sweet 16. And I never talk up Clemson hoops. Even when we're really good, I don't sit here and think we're going that far. One time I feel it, they end up being the shits. The absolute shits. So, let's see here. Let's welcome in Daniel to the show. Daniel, what's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up, boys?
Good evening now.
Yeah, I was thinking about
what's your worst loss that makes you think, damn it, How did that happen?
The two that come to mind in basketball are losing to Loyola Chicago and that old fucking nun.
Yeah, that
And
old
You
hag,
lost to
as
that.
Jack
They lost
Pot
to
called
that.
her.
What did y'all lose to the Hag?
that
Yeah.
was that was 2021 or 2020, I believe. 2021, I think.
Woman's 102 years old, devoted her life to the Catholic Church, and Jackpot calls her an old hag.
She is. That's exactly what she is.
See, there you go. I'm not the only one who's
Look,
towing that
I think
line.
that on the football front, Jackpot can talk about the South Carolina team that went to Tennessee, and South Carolina was a huge favorite up there.
Oh God, no!
That's the Steve Spurrier timeout game. That's a game that
Oh.
let South Carolina fans down. That definitely has to be in the mix.
We didn't realize it at the time, but that team could have played for a national championship if they hadn't lost that game.
And they should have, because they had enough talent.
Because they would have went to the SEC championship game and they would have beaten Auburn.
They would have.
So
I think, but
that would have been the rematch with Florida State for revenge from a few years prior.
So
get up in that damn ass.
It was.
Here you go. I'll give you some fucking crab legs. This is just hypothetical scenarios I'm playing out in my head.
So I was on the radio that day, and they pitched it to me, and they go, "Rob, what are your thoughts on the Tennessee matchup?" And I said, "Well, I've got two things. One, Steve Spurrier forgot to call a time. Steve Spurrier had timeout issues, and who in the hell is Pig Howard, who was the guy the running back that rushed in for the touchdown to
he was actually a receiver.
Who the hell? But he kind of was it. Okay, I don't remember. But
yeah, I think they would run him too. They kind of put him everywhere. He's one of those type of guys.
But the funny part is that when I said that, there was just silence. Like, then I was told afterwards that maybe that was a little bit harsh. Like, what you asked me?
I won't forget there was a meme that circulated for like a year or two after that happened of that kid catching the pass late in the game for Tennessee with one arm or one hand.
Yeah.
He made a one-handed
Marquez North. That was it.
Sounds right. And they said, it only takes one hand to beat a cock.
That's pretty good.
What year was that, Jackpot? That was what?
2013.
Yeah, 13.
I was at Dollywood. I was at Dollywood actually when that happened. Believe it or not.
I remember the lead up. I remember the lead up to that game because the year prior, our left tackle, his name was his last name was Richardson. They called him Tiny Richardson. He was huge, and he allowed Clowney to get a game-winning sack on Tennessee the year prior. So coming into that game in 2013, there was a big pregame thing where Richardson walked out on the field. Him and Clowney kind of locked eyes and were talking shit, and they talked about that the majority of the game. And then Clowney made an impact.
That was 2 years
again.
in a row South Carolina underperformed there against dog shit teams because they almost got beat the year before. Yeah.
So I got to put this into perspective. That was probably the best Carolina team ever. We can make an argument.
Shut up!
Okay, goddamn. Oh, he's talking to the dog. No, we can
enough. Stop it. Stop.
We can make an argument that's probably the best South Carolina of all time. Maybe top 3 teams that ever put on a Gamecock uniform. I can make that argument with that roster. And, but they went into Tennessee. That Tennessee team finished 5-7 on the year, 2-6 in conference play.
That was
their 2 wins
early Butch Jones years.
And South Carolina.
Yep.
Kentucky and they lost to fucking Vanderbilt, but they beat South Carolina.
Oh God! I know.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I got
What did we
nothing.
hit? Like a
Anyway,
20-yard field goal to win?
tough.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, you won
You
the
know,
game. What was the
here's
score?
here's a
23 to 21.
yeah. Here's a fun fact. Alton Pig Howard's cousin, his first cousin, was the safety for Alabama, Ha Ha Clinton Dix, and I'm not making that up.
I remember that, dude.
Pig and Ha Ha. Their
There
parents
you go.
had to be.
But, all right, so
Too much
the
pig and
Illinois
not enough
Chicago-
ha-ha.
So Illinois Chicago's the worst for you. You don't have a football one. I mean, there has to be one in football.
Well,
too.
yeah.
How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, plenty of, let's see, 2016 Vanderbilt when Tennessee beat Georgia and Florida that year and lost to goddamn Vanderbilt. You talking about pissed off.
Lost us too.
Yeah, and lost to
the
South
Gamecocks,
Carolina.
too.
Yep, and lost to South Carolina. Yeah.
I was at that game.
Yeah, we had
Yeah, well,
Alvin Kamara, Jalen Hurd, Josh Dobbs, and for the life of Butch Jones, he couldn't figure out how to get Kamara the ball. It was the wildest.
Yeah, Jalen Turd sat out that game because he was mad. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
Quit.
Yeah, he was a quitter. He was a quitter.
He did something.
That dude needed 200 or 300 yards to break the all-time career rushing at Tennessee and quit like a bitch.
Well, there you go.
That game was I think we won by I'm gonna say we won by 3. And I remember the last play of the game, Butch Jones tried like a 60-yard field goal, and that guy's previous long was like 45 or something.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just get out there and throw it up and try to get somebody to catch it?
Especially
with them,
especially when earlier that year you've done through a Hail Mary and caught the ball.
Yeah, you're going to make him the goat. You're going to make him the goat here, missing that field goal. But you know he ain't got shut up. That he ain't got a prayer of hitting.
Yeah. Yeah, the Vanderbilt 2016 Vanderbilt was rough, and then the 2008 or 2009 Lane Kiffin when we lost by Terrence Cody, Mount Cody field goal block at the end. That was a rough one. We had no business being in that game, but we were, and it was Lane Kiffin's first year, and go for the game-winning field goal, and that big 6'8", 400-pound fucker blocks the field goal. That was pretty rough.
Who was this?
That was they called him Mount Cody for Alabama.
I remember that. He was a big
this?
That was 09 or 08, Kiffin's first year, first and only year.
That was 09, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
09.
Let me read Leonard's comment here. The 1999 loss at Arkansas and Fayetteville is the most painful loss to me as a volunteer fan. Tennessee went to that game ranked number 2 nationally with a chance to go back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the Sterner, I remember that. Sterner was their quarterback for Arkansas. Yeah. Yeah, good comment there, Leonard. All right, well, hey, Daniel, I appreciate it, man. I got to bring Octavian's ready to come on.
All right.
Do you have something else you wanted to get out there before we left?
I don't think so. Tell Octavian he can suck a big one.
Can Daniel
All
not
right.
just stay on?
Daniel, you can stay on. You want to stay on with Octavian? That's fine. I was trying
That's fine.
to save that for you. Octavian, what you got, buddy? I mean, I expected no less from you, sir. Are you working?
No, I'm off today, sir.
Oh, you're off today. Okay.
Had him a day off.
My day off.
The most painful bitter loss to me was the 2012 game. We lost that game to Georgia, which we should have won. We fumbled in the end zone.
Hey, Octavian,
You talking to the microphone or
yeah,
something?
I don't know what he's doing. He sounds like he's in a hallway.
I can't hear you at all.
Like I can barely hear him. I don't know what he's saying there.
Can you hear me now?
No,
Yeah,
you
a little bit better.
a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah, but anyway, that 2012 game messed me up there. Anyway, Daniel, That Tennessee volunteers suck. I just want to tell you that to your face.
Okay. Thank you, Octavian. You suck.
All right, Octavian. Thanks, Octavian.
Yeah,
Have a
man.
good night, buddy. All right,
Go
there you
get
go. Octavian with I mean, he sounds like he's in the tunnel.
He's underwater.
I'll put the
again.
link out here again on the show here. Sounds like he's calling from underneath the damn stadium.
Yeah, he's deep in the swamp.
Bulldog Jersey says this is a good one. The Dobbs heaves it loss to Tennessee is the worst. Let's see. Yeah, it was the worst loss for him. Yeah,
that would have been rough
I remember
for a
that.
Georgia fan.
That was rough for the Georgia mans.
Yeah, not only did we beat them, but they literally took the lead on us with like 20-something seconds left with their own kind of Hail Mary, and then they get a taunting penalty. The kickoff gets pushed back. We get a good kick return, just enough where he can get one in the end zone. So that's pretty rough.
Fair enough.
That was wild.
Yeah. We had some Clemson embarrassing losses too. To me,
come here.
What's that?
Did Tennessee lose on a Hail Mary with
Florida.
with Felipe Franks?
Yes.
Was that the next year or was that year?
That was.
I remember that.
That was the next year or the year before, I believe.
I think it was the year after.
Yeah.
Was that 2017?
Yeah. We beat Georgia the same year we won on the Hail Marys. Georgia, we also beat Florida at home. So, which is also the thing that we lost to y'all with Vanderbilt. Fucking leave it up to Butch Jones.
Yeah, losing via Hail Mary to Felipe Franks is pretty embarrassing.
I think back to back we lost Hail Mary to him, and then the year before, the year after that's when they threw that 10-yard stop route with like a minute left in the fourth, and it turned into a 60-yard touchdown.
Jackpot used to call him Felipe Beans and Franks.
Felipe Beans and Franks. I'd forgotten all about him.
Well, he was silly.
Yeah,
he was
nothing to remember until he played Tennessee, and then he was God.
Hey, he threw a jump pass against Charleston Southern one year, and they thought Tim Tebow was back.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's Clemson football losses. I mean, I have a couple that stick out. The Wake Forest loss that ended Tommy Bowden's career was just shitty. Losing to Wake Forest is like essentially losing to Vanderbilt for South Carolina. Clemson's dominated that series for so long, and then
come here, let me grab you.
They handled us. It wasn't like they beat the dog breaks off of us. NC State beat the shit out of us one year, and that was terrible.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I think that was like 2012 or something, I want to say.
They
2011.
They came in and just ran up and down the fucking field. It was crazy. Crazy. Again here. Yeah, Jackpot made a video about that. He was, if I remember right, I think he made a video. I don't remember, but I could just picture you being happier for that one. What's up, Octavian?
Yeah, I remember when that happened. That was way before then. That was like 2011 or something. I remember because I was a store manager at Ingles then, and we didn't get all the scores and stuff on our phones and everything then. But I just remember coming out from work and getting in the car to leave that Saturday afternoon. I turned the Clemson game on, and they were behind 33-3 or something. And I was like, holy shit, what? God dang, man.
Octavian's phone sucks. It's like I'm hearing feedback. It's just bad. So, look, let's bring Peckerhead into the program. Peckerhead, what's up?
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Are you going to have a class action lawsuit for secondhand smoke from this fire?
I want to take those 4 teenagers who started it. I think I'm entitled to a slice of every single thing their parent owns. They've made my life detrimentally harder. I now worry if I was telling Kale, if I get evacuated, this is the first thing I'm grabbing. First thing I'm.
What's that?
Oh, the
Your
Carolina.
hat?
No, first thing I'm grabbing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, there's a
Don't
wall
blame
of
me.
smoke
I got
outside.
nothing.
I think the fire is only like 20 miles away. So hopefully that shit will slow down.
Damn.
Billy, welcome to the program. What's your most embarrassing loss that you remember, sir? And please don't tell me something from 1972 that I have to go Google.
Dang. Right off the bat. Guess the loss a couple years ago.
Everybody
when
else
South
was
Carolina
good with it,
stole
man.
our
They
signals.
came right
I guess that loss was probably the worst.
You mean when we sanded our field?
I guess when they stole our signals.
Yeah, that's close.
Well, we put out a hit.
And then
on
they beat two top 5 teams in a matter of a week, and hadn't won a game.
Somebody's been watching their sports talk.
He's been doing his research.
No, I came on here to talk.
If I remember,
How bad do you have?
if I remember correctly, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How bad does North Carolina?
How bad what?
Desperate do you have to be to hire Will Wade?
Hey, Will Wade's a good coach. I do not hate it.
No.
He's a cheating son of a bitch, but he's a good coach.
He has the moral character of a rattlesnake at best.
I agree.
I read on him all the stuff that he did, and even the other day in his speech there at North Carolina State when they introduced him, he all but said he was scum, but he's grown out of that now. He's a better man. Oh my God. You need to go read on this guy. He's horrible.
Yeah, he's a real piece of work.
I wouldn't let my kid play for him. He's but anyway.
I'm waiting on Jackpot to tell you. You know he started at Clemson, right?
Will Wade.
Yeah, he did. Is he worse off than Bobby Petrino?
Who?
Is he a bigger douchebag than that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. I mean, he's got caught cheating. He's got his. Oh, you have to go read on it. You have to read about it. I mean,
he's not sending any pictures of his pecker on his Instagram to students, though, is he?
Not that I know of that.
We know of.
Florida.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But he's yeah. I just you got to be really desperate. And to listen to him the other day, basically go over all what he did and everything, apologize for. Why would you even bring that up? So I don't know.
I don't know. I think he's silly. Yeah. Well,
NC State must be
North Carolina fans will tell you. Yeah.
Amari Jefferson
did back relevant or something. I guess I don't know.
Daniel, did you see who we picked up in the transfer portal?
Yeah, we picked him up. About 2 months ago.
Amari Jefferson,
4-star
star from Alabama, coming back home.
Yeah, he was supposed to commit to us to play baseball and football, so maybe he'll join that baseball team too.
Yeah. And then Duke's leading rusher last year.
Oh yeah, Star Thomas,
almost 1,000. Third on the depth chart right now. So
yeah, it'll be running back by committee for us this year. There'll be no Dylan Sampson, but
well, Billy, I saw in the chat you wanted your classic. Rob has a SEC bias stat. So, are you ready for?
Yeah, tell us how much weight the wide receivers have gained this week at South Carolina.
No, it's not. It's not a weight stat, but I'll tell you. We've got a freshman wide receiver in Lex Lyris
from Utah State.
Nope, he's from South Carolina. He's a freshman.
Okay.
He has recently set the team record for vertical jump, which I think you'll find surprising considering E-Man Ward set a record at the end.
I can jump. Wee.
How fast does he chew his food? Does he?
I don't know. They haven't discussed that yet.
Hey Daniel, who set the all-time touchdown record for one game? Where's he from?
He is from South Carolina.
Some place called Irmo or Erdo or something.
Irmo, sir. Irmo High School.
Oh my.
Nice.
Who's talking about Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah.
Oh, he's from South Carolina.
That was against Alabama, no less.
Look, Peckerhead, you really, I cannot believe that I have to help.
Down year for Alabama.
All you need to say to him is very simply. All you need to say to him very simply with Jalen Hyatt is that Jalen Hyatt was a fucking criminal.
Oh, I'm not worried about
Got
Jalen
into
Hyatt.
trouble with the law.
Who cares about
We
Jalen
didn't
Hyatt?
want him on our fucking program.
He
Like,
was a first-round
don't-
pick who fucking flashed out in a year and a half. I mean, let's be realistic. Nobody's talking about Jalen Hyatt anymore. I was surprised you brought him up. That's why I was like, who are we even discussing?
Oh, I like the excuse. Well, we didn't want him anyway. We don't need him.
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
you'd
we
say
had
that
pretty
one.
good wide
He was a
receivers.
troublemaker. He got arrested.
Yeah,
What
we
the
had
fuck
pretty
are
good
you
wide
talking
Like
about?
that never happens at
Oh,
Clemson.
man. I'm just saying with that particular player, South Carolina backed off because he got in trouble.
Well, Heupel, he just needed to get some place where
That's
he could
why.
be molded. You know, like Beamer. What is it?
No, he
What-
didn't. He
what does
needed to
Beamer
get
do? He
somewhere where he
molds
could
people.
get with his damn
He
ankle
just
bracelet.
needed
Somewhere where the
molding.
police department won't give a shit if you rob a convenience store as long as you play wide receiver for the Volunteers.
To be
Look,
fair, he
I
didn't.
appreciate you. I'm bringing in Nate DeGreat,
Oh,
who
God.
joins us. We haven't seen him in a while. Hey, Nate, how are you?
Good, how are
Hey.
you?
Hey, Nate, you hadn't jumped in the car with anybody lately, have you?
Nah, no.
Octavian was right. The 2000 game, that was the game. I was at that game when Florida came to Tennessee as the Gaffney catch
Matt
at the end that
Shaw?
hit us head. And
They're
even
over there
Springer
keeping
said we got
rounds.
away
Like
with
we're
one.
going back and forth, Billy. You see that?
What?
I might have to start turning up the heat if they're keeping rounds, Billy. You don't want that.
From a South Carolina fan?
Yeah.
Win,
Billy.
win something.
Billy, all I need.
Win
What have
something.
you won? What have you won?
Hey,
Oh, damn.
come into the stadium and look at all the banners. How many banners y'all got?
Billy, you
An
got
SEC
dick
East
stomped in the playoffs.
an SEC East
You got
division
worked
banner.
over by an average Ohio State team.
An SEC East banner. You really hung a division
Nah,
banner.
Daniel, don't make that face.
You
Don't
made
make that
Nah,
face. They were never
you
in
couldn't-
contention to win the Natty.
an
Dog.
SEC East
Do not
banner.
make that face, Daniel. And they worked your ass like you were a hooker
Our,
on
our
True Blood,
SEC,
Billy.
our
Sure
SEC
did.
They didn't
East
even- you
banner
didn't
is
even
less
receive
spaced
payment
out than
for
your
it.
last one.
What's worse loss? Ohio State in the college football playoffs, the national champion, or to Illinois?
Probably Ohio State.
Sure.
Probably Ohio State in the
What
national
about Ohio
championship
State
because you
losing
got
to
bent
Michigan,
over
though?
your knee and spanked like they were your daddy.
Oh,
So
well,
yeah, I'd
maybe
probably say the Ohio
maybe y'all
State
do
one.
good this
And
year.
a whole lot more people saw that one.
Ohio
Maybe
State
y'all
ran
make
it
it
in
this-
raw.
Tell me.
I'm telling you, they got worked over like a two-notch prostitute,
I'm-
and they
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
make
get
a
paid for
prediction.
it afterwards.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm 70 years old, and I will never see South Carolina win this SEC football.
Yeah, you're
championship.
70 years old, and you'll never see Tennessee do it either.
Damn.
Wait. That's a bold statement, sir, considering the average lifespan for an American male is 74 years. You're just hoping for those 4 years.
Yeah, I'm
Come on,
70.
Billy.
You will
That's
never.
brutal.
You write that down. Never.
And
Never.
you'll never see Tennessee do it either. It's a blanket statement.
He's hoping those Gamecocks. Oh,
Never.
I hope I croak.
How many? What kind of banners y'all having? Will it
Oh,
be?
we got
Peckerhead?
SEC East championship and an ACC championship.
He's going to be
Is that
73. He's going to be 73, and South Carolina's going to make it all the way to the SEC championship game. He's going to be like, "Oh God, I got to make good on this." Be beating himself, yanking his IVs out and shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So
Imagine.
I did a little
That's
research.
fucked up, Kale.
I did a little research, and Tanner posted his budget for last month. It cost South Carolina $4,800 to buy Boost for that new baseball coach.
Damn.
To buy what?
Hey,
Boost.
Boots?
Oh yeah, he can drink it up.
It's
Oh,
$4,800 a
Drink
month
it
for
up.
this
I heard
old
they're
man.
going. I heard they're
Holy
going
shit,
to
the little
revoke it.
milkshake thing?
I heard they're going to revoke it though and make him buy his own
Jesus.
boost.
$800? How much?
They're going to make him buy his own boost if he can't start winning some
Is
games.
that all he's fucking drinking?
He'll have
Is he
to
on
buy it
liquid
with his
diet?
EBT card.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Here's one. Let's make a prediction for this weekend. Tennessee's coming to Columbia this weekend, baseball. What do you think the total series over and under will be score wise?
No.
Total number of runs?
Yes, total runs over and under.
God, I don't know. College baseball. I mean, it can fluctuate. I think
Probably
that
30 to 10. The
Wow.
3
That sounds
games
about right.
left.
God, jackpot has no face.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
I have no confidence. They
think,
suck dick. Terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give Nate a chance to chat here. Nate, what you got for the show, buddy?
I mean, Billy mentioned Tennessee. I was kind of Jackpot knows, Billy knows I'm a 2-teamer or whatever. But I'm kind of disappointed that Nebraska kind of fell out of the Tennessee series. So
Yeah, me too.
now, as a Nebraska fan / Michigan fan, anyways, I just it just irritates me how that happened. Even though that I mean, Tennessee fans were probably pissed too, right, Billy?
What's that?
Or the Nebraska opt out the Tennessee series.
Yep.
It don't. I don't keep
It don't
up with
matter?
stuff like it.
Oh.
Don't matter.
Why was that canceled anyway?
So they're saying that Nebraska wanted the extra home game. So the year
Right.
they're supposed to come to Tennessee, they wanted that extra home game because they're doing renovations on their stadium.
Yeah, which is
That's what they were.
That's a pretty weak fucking excuse.
Yeah, I think the real excuse is they play a pretty hard Big Ten schedule. They didn't want another hard game.
Are you
we don't
saying
wanna
they're
lose?
pulling a
One at a
Tennessee,
time. One at a time.
Army?
Kind
here we
of.
go.
Is it,
Kind of.
To be fair, it's similar.
Yeah, it was.
Well, not only has he done this now, he's bitched out of his spring game too. This Matt Rule.
Well, no,
Oh, yeah.
Matt Rule.
I'm not a fan of him.
Well, Baylor
Yeah,
man
I don't
speak
know.
on him. He's pretty fond of him, I believe.
Look, Matt Rule. I don't think Matt Rule canceled the series. I think the athletic director did. I have no idea, but that's what I think.
Y'all want to hear what I saw? There was God, I forget the two teams. I think it might have been Miami and someone else. They were talking about combining their spring game and charging 20.
Oh yeah, I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Could y'all believe that?
What was it?
Fuck.
It was Miami and some other team. They were talking about bringing back for a scrimmage. I think it was like an old rivalry, and they wanted to charge 25 a head for the spring game.
Or was it Oklahoma?
They can't even get
State?
people to go to a fucking regular season game, and they're going to charge for a preseason game.
Well, I've told you last week. These FCS games.
Against
get them off.
who would they be playing in this game?
Yeah, let me look it up.
Exactly.
And I'll see.
Anyway, the FCS games, get them off the regular schedule, play them in the spring, 2 or 3 games, have spring college football, and be done with it. Get them off the regular season schedule.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having a scrimmage.
You got to think that spring it's spring football for the FCS team too. How's that going to help them?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, I was wrong. It was
one check.
Let me answer that. Hold on. The same reason they schedule them a regular season.
Money.
1.4 to come to Neyland.
Yeah.
It was Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, so it wasn't Miami, but it was Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. The Mike Gundy said we should combine it and charge $25 a head.
That's
I don't know what y'all
people would probably pay it though,
To watch.
Yeah, Matthew Goldsmith, he's an Oklahoma fan. What do you think of that? Would you go to that?
No.
You would?
How about him?
What'd you say, Rob?
I'm not going to any of that.
Well,
shit.
yeah, I don't know. You're anti anything that isn't regular season. I don't understand that.
I'm the same
I mean,
way.
I'm not going to. I
don't understand.
I would go. Go ahead.
I mean, like a series like that, I don't understand why they had to cancel it just because Oklahoma joined the SEC. I don't understand why they canceled it. I mean, Iowa and Iowa State still play every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
We play Clemson still.
Yeah, why? Yeah, Georgia plays Georgia Tech. Why can't they have that? Doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Oklahoma did that.
Tennessee has a warm-up game against Kentucky before we play Alabama every year.
No, that's a conference game, though.
We play Kentucky in a warm-up game.
You're
Before we get
gonna
into the
piss
heart
off.
of our
Big
schedule.
Barney Ross is gonna be sipping something strong, and he might call in pissed off, Billy. You better watch your
He's
words.
already look what he said down there.
What'd he say?
Rob posted it.
Oh, that's actually a good one, Billy. Though realistically,
Hey, true.
go ahead, Nate. You haven't talked much. Go.
No, I don't know. I was just saying that true for that comment. That's all. For
I was gonna say, Billy, Daniel. I mean, don't get your hopes up this year. I'm gonna just say that. Don't get your hopes up this year.
Why?
Just because they're preseason ranked 6.
Listen,
not getting a whole
unless
lot Daniel.
Nico's put on 30 pounds.
He has put on. He has put on weight. To be fair, but go ahead.
I'm saying unless he's put on 30 pounds, though, you're replacing some people in the O line. Dylan Sampson was a good pass protection back. He's gonna get hit. All right, and
I'll make you a preseason bet right now. Tennessee,
like an old cheap lawn chair from Roses.
Right.
Tennessee will give up less sacks this year than they gave up last year.
How many did you give up?
I'd have to look, but whatever it is, I'll take I'll take less this year.
The old line's fixed.
You've got a second year left.
How could you make
You've got a second year 5-star left tackle. You've got a kid from your left guard is Wendell Moe, and a transfer from Arizona who didn't allow a sack last year in over 500 snaps. You have your center is going to be the one. We ain't got Pooper Mays no more, Jackpot. No more Pooper Mays.
No
center.
Pooper. Oh, damn it, I knew it.
Yeah.
Center's not that important though. To be fair, center's not that important.
I disagree. I think they do a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I get. I don't know. In college, they're not really setting the protection like you see in the NFL.
Well, in our offense, they are. Like Cooper Mays, that's exactly what he did.
He called the offensive line plays and stuff.
And then right guard, we have a dude from Notre Dame that played a lot of snaps, Sam Pendleton. He wears the old he's got one of those full cage helmets, the bar that comes down the middle of your face.
Those are illegal.
No, he's got one. He's got one. And then our starting right tackle will be David Sanders, the 5-star number 1 offensive tackle. I truly think our offensive line.
He's a true freshman, isn't he?
I agree, but I think he's going to start.
I get he's a 5-star. Listen, we had Josiah Thompson. He was either the number 1 or 2 tackle. He might not have been that high. He was pretty high. But when he started, him and Cam Pringle, for that matter, you could see there was a gap in knowledge, even though they were highly recruited and they've done well since then. But playing as a freshman on the O-line is just brutal, man.
But hey, you said don't get your hopes.
That Sanders turns out to be something decent for y'all because I'm telling you.
He's from Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm not hating on the kid, but when he was giving them interviews, when he did his commitment and everything, I mean, he just sounds taffy. I mean, he's like, my uncle, and my grandpa, and everybody's coming down to watch you play, and I'm like, man, you like to hear a dude, somebody,
That's right.
somebody damn acts like they got an attitude.
So Andrew, let me ask.
He is a really good kid. That you can tell he's like well spoken. He's a good dude. I hope he translates. Yeah. I hope everything translates.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It just sounded soft. I mean, I don't see somebody like that being able to protect my quarterback from Dylan Stewart or whoever else might be coming down the pipe. But
he was at the South Carolina spring game last year.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah.
Was he playing pocket pool?
No, he had some big ass chain. It looked like he got it from the middle of the mall. I guess the NIL. But now that he's at Tennessee,
sounds like envy to me.
Now that he's at Tennessee, I'm sure his neck isn't green anymore.
So
No, he got that real. He got them real diamonds
Yeah,
now.
he's rocking. He's
I want
rocking
to hear.
some
I
real
want to hear this,
jewelry now.
Andrew. For whatever it's worth, why would the AP have Tennessee 6 in the preseason? Why would they do that?
I don't know. Do you put all your stock in the
No. I
first
want you to
rank?
tell me why they would have them ranked preseason 6.
Probably the same reason they had Oklahoma ranked top 10 last year,
Okay.
or Florida State for that matter.
The difference is Heupel has shown that his teams, like his floor at this point is 9 wins.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to have a bad year. So like, I don't even worried about having a bad year. It's just can you make the playoff at the, like that's the standard at this point now. Make the playoff.
Fireval says, "What do you want him to sound like? Macho Man Randy Savage?" I mean, that'd be a good start. It'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, you think you're getting to Nico's blind side?
By the way, your AP argument holds no water here, Billy. Florida State was picked 10th in the country in the preseason poll last year, and they ended up being a shit.
Florida State was also a team full of fucking mercenaries. It's not the same.
But listen, Daniel, the same argument you just made about Josh Heupel's floor is 9 wins. You could have said the same thing about Mike Norvell before last year.
Before he got a team full of mercenaries?
I mean, you just said half your line was transfer.
Two of them are transfers.
Well,
come in.
Who's the center? You didn't say who the center.
He was a redshirt freshman. His name's William Satterwhite. It's probably going to be the starting center. He was a 4-star prospect.
You got some don't start because Billy was just hyping up 2 transfers you got.
No, we've got them 2, and then we've got
15, right? 15.
No, not even that many.
4 about this year. 3
about
or 4.
4 or 5. We'll probably pick up a few more in the spring portal, but it won't be.
More than that.
It'll be depth.
No.
Yeah, y'all got to start hitting the portal. Y'all got that.
No, we don't. Not when you're usually in the top 10 in recruiting.
Something in the orange, man.
Speaking of the portal, I was doing a video this morning talking about the transfer portal, and Mike Fury yesterday basically coming out in his little press conference that he did, or his little time at the podium yesterday after practice, that they're not interested in taking anybody from the transfer portal. So that means the spring portal cycle is basically null and void for South Carolina, I guess, as far as that. And, we were supposedly after a wide receiver or 2, and that's supposedly a need for this team. However, they don't seem to think that they need one.
Whoa.
Because they seem to think it would take reps away from the who've been there and have been playing. Let me ask y'all this.
Tells us South Carolina's got the best wide receiver
every
room.
transfer that comes anywhere?
Yeah.
I don't think we need a transfer wide receiver personally, too. I think we got a room that's poised to break out this year. I mean, you got a lot of returning talent.
Yeah, we got a bunch of young.
Well, they're
ones
sophomores now.
Here we go. Jackpot's tired of hearing poised and maybe shoulda, coulda, woulda. He's tired of hearing that.
There ain't no poised. Maybe coulda,
Is that the
shoulda,
new
woulda,
word?
Billy. They were freshmen. Now they're sophomores.
Is that the new word?
Obviously, they're going to
Poised?
be.
Because they already went after. I know they went after Concepcion, that ended up at Texas A&M, but they just wasn't going to pay him the money that he thought he was worth, and they were going to try to get in on that one from Penn State that ended up at shock, Ole Miss. But he was wanting too much money.
I'm kind of like Dabo on this in a sense. You start bringing a lot of transfer portal, and these kids that's already projected to come to your school are going to leave. You want to groom these kids.
Well, it depends on the position.
It's a fine line. You got to be able to balance.
Yeah, it's a fine line. You have to bring guys in, but you also don't need to bring your majority of your team in from the portal.
My philosophy on it is I'm okay with anything other than a first-year starting transfer quarterback. I don't like that one bit. It's rarely worked. I mean, I guess you can point to Cam Ward, but he's an anomaly. I mean, the majority of the time they come out and they're average as shit.
Hendon Hooker wasn't too average.
Hendon Hooker played.
Wait. The guy, didn't the guy that won the national title with Ohio State, wasn't he a transfer?
He's an anomaly.
Yeah, Will Howard. Yeah,
Was he a first year
think
starter too? Will Howard?
at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that left
He was
Ohio
the guy
State
from
and come to
Mississippi State,
LSU?
wasn't he? What'd you say, Billy?
Who was the guy that left Ohio State and went to LSU and won a natty?
Joe Burrow?
That's probably the greatest
He
football
wasn't a
team
first
all
year
time.
starter when he won
Jose
it. He
Barose.
won in his second year at LSU. I'm saying y'all are picking out like the best of the best. How many fail as their first? How many Brock Vandergriffs are out there? I guarantee it's exponentially more than Will Howard. And
Yeah,
Joe
I think it needs like if it's a proven like Cam Ward, everybody knew he was already good.
That's what I'm saying. Do you have your anomalies who can play anywhere, but the vast majority of these people.
The vast majority of them are a bunch of DJ ukuleles.
That's why, and I don't think I see that in most other positions in the transfer portal. I haven't seen that personally, especially with the Gamecocks.
So over here in the comments, Dan21 tells us Tennessee will be worse this year. Based on
we'll
what?
see.
Well, you're losing the top running back in the SEC.
So who was he before he come off the bench?
He's good. He's good. That's a big hole. That's probably the main thing he's basing it on.
Plug and play, baby.
How many wide receivers?
Plug and play.
Yeah, we lost.
You lost Squirrel and someone else, I thought.
Squirrel and Brew.
And Brew.
You're replacing 2 wide receivers. You got a freshman at left tackle. You're
right tackle.
Right tackle. You got an
I guess we shouldn't even play the game this year.
Yeah, somebody's going to play there. Yeah.
We shouldn't even play this year.
Billy, you take
I would feel that way about the knockout, about going down to like why do you even play the game in Gainesville? Y'all can't.
There you go. We can't.
Yeah, that's where we've got to go in right there this year.
What do you think Octavian's going to say if y'all lose that game?
Oh God.
Oh God. He's probably nothing. He'll be underwater.
They could go. Florida could go win one game, and as long as it's that one, he's got something to hold on to.
Yeah, we'll hear about that forever.
Yeah,
You know, I lived in Gainesville for 4 years, and my office was right next to the stadium. And it's living in a college town like that, like Florida. I was there in the late '80s, and this was before they were anything. And these people are crazy in Gainesville. Absolute. Billy's forward. My climbers are fine, Chris.
Yeah, he's got a.
Broski Bear wants to know: are you laying down or sitting up, Billy?
I'm sitting up in my recliner.
No, he's got his feet kicked up. Don't let him lie to you. He's leaned back.
Yeah.
But listen, I think there's
what you can't see is that he's got a boost in his right hand.
A boost in his right hand.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna drop off here, but y'all have a good night.
Later, Daniel.
Good evening.
Later, Dan.
Go Vols.
Go Gamecocks.
What did he say?
I swear
Wait, did he just say "Go Vols"? Shit.
I swear he said that.
That's what he called you.
Hey, how come your guys' stuff is on backwards, Rob?
He didn't flip his camera and went in the settings. You got to go back to your settings, Rob, and turn off mirror.
Flip it around. Your hat's backward and Rob's Jackpot's t-shirt's backward.
Okay.
It's in the camera settings. Just like flip.
That's all right.
Yeah, that ain't a big deal.
Video. All right, so flip the mirror.
There we go. You had it. There you go. There you go.
Back to normal.
There we go. I'm just here for Billy's amusement.
No. I know you want to have a perfect show.
I know. I'm picking.
It was driving my anxiety level up the wall.
I know you got
Matt
to take
Shaw.
one of those
Matt Shaw says in the comment section, if the Gators team is healthy, especially DJ Lagway, they will stomp the Tennessee Volunteers.
We need to put that in the bookcase of accountability right there.
I'm screenshotting that now.
That's a strong
first
adjective.
entry.
Strong adjective.
For the bookcase of accountability. This early in the season.
So you're hanging your
that is bold.
That's not.
Hanging it.
You know what? In some ways, it's not because they've taken shitty teams down. They've taken great teams down there and lost to shitty Florida teams. So there's that.
Yeah.
When do they have a great team?
Yeah.
Who?
Point.
Fair,
Tennessee.
jackpot, fair.
Let's put it this way: they've
You're right.
taken teams
Okay,
down there
Not a
when they
while
were
ago.
favored. When they were favored to win. How's
Yeah.
that? When they
I
were
mean,
favored.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's something about the orange. I mean, maybe you just got the
They've taken
Clemson
teams that were
inverse.
favored and
Well,
lost.
It's
Bless-
it's
bless-
Clemson, it's Tennessee. Tennessee.
My dad used to be an usher at Neyland Stadium, and she used to, bless her heart, she's passed away a long time ago, but she used to say, Tennessee players can just hear the word Florida and they piss all over themselves. I mean, for some reason, it's just,
Well, the Gamecocks haven't won down there in a hot minute.
well, having
Yeah.
lived there for 4 years and gone to those games
When
in the
was last time we
fall,
won there?
it's brutal. And I'm not exaggerating because the stadium sits down in the ground. It's brutal. I mean, it can be 90 degrees real temperature,
No,
but on the field, it can be 110, 120.
We whooped their ass in the swamp in 2022, Kale.
That's one game. That's one game.
He said it's been a while since we won there. I was saying we won in 2022.
No, we didn't. We lost like 38
Is
to
this
6.
AI
That was the
wrong?
one we lost.
It says that Carolina won 38-6.
Well, that thing's full of
Is
shit.
it?
Because don't you remember we played Tennessee the next week and beat them.
Yeah,
They
you're
beat
right.
our ass.
Yeah,
That was
you're
bad.
right. What the fuck is this? Dude, you can't trust this goo. I've trusted it 2 times and it's been wrong 2 times.
That AI is the devil.
Yeah,
You
it's
need to
terrible.
put that
terrible.
away.
It said Carolina won. I don't understand how it came to that conclusion, but yeah, I guess you're right. It has been a while. Do you know you're the Carolina savant. What year you
2014, we got Will Muschamp fired, remember?
Oh,
Dylan Thompson pulled it down and ran the bootleg in overtime.
Yep. Dylan Thompson. Yeah, I forgot about him. He was a good quarterback though.
Eddie Blackburn says we got
And old ball sack got Will Muschamp fired the next day.
That was the start of the Carolina's demise. Was winning that game.
Yeah, was beating
Russ
him.
Bear over here with a good comment.
What do you say?
He says, Billy, hit the buzzers and I'll help you to walk to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right,
Hit the buzzer and then help you.
we've got Sweet 16 matchups. I mean, it's looking like a Florida thing here. I mean, Duke's looking good too, though. Anybody got any good picks?
Well,
for
I
the
told
weekend?
y'all statistically only Florida and Duke can win it, so that shouldn't be.
I'm gonna be Carolina Big Blue Pot on Friday evening.
Big Blue Pot. Okay.
Check this
Only
out.
Blue, though.
Carolina Big Blue Pot.
Tennessee plays Kentucky. Kentucky beat Tennessee twice this year already.
Yeah.
Try that on. Let that sink in.
Trifecta. They're gonna get you again. They're gonna get you.
I don't know.
This time in Indianapolis.
Oh, they're
Where
already
do
up
they
there.
rotate those Final Four games? Y'all know where those are going to be, or do they just play it at the same place every year?
Same place. No. They rotate it.
I thought so. I know they've been using NFL Stadium sometimes. Have they any of those lined up yet?
I don't know.
I don't like those.
Where is the Final Four this year?
Isn't it
I'll look
Indy?
it up real quick.
San Antonio. My son's thinking about going.
Alamo Dome.
He told me the other night,
It's probably in
nosebleed.
the Spurs Stadium.
It is. The nosebleed section, he told me the other night, was going for $200, and that was last week.
That ain't
And the
terrible.
nosebleed.
For a natty, that ain't. It's high. Don't get me wrong, but the NFL stadium or NBA arenas, rather, they got limited capacity. I mean, that's probably only like a 6,000 or 7,000.
Did y'all see that hockey game a couple of weeks in Ohio State Stadium? They set up an ice arena in Ohio State Stadium.
No shit. The football stadium.
Just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
What? Who played there?
Some two hockey teams.
Was it professional? I mean,
Yeah, it was professional teams.
Two
Somebody
NHL
over here.
teams.
Yeah.
I know it is in the Alamo Dome, Kale. The natty.
Did they have to scrape up any of those Tennessee Vols off the football field that they ran over in that last time they played a game in there before they laid that ice rink down?
Probably did. Probably did.
Probably so.
Yes,
Probably
it's
so.
at the
you-
Alamo Dome, but the rest of these are they got nothing but NFL stadiums lined up. It'll go to Indy, Detroit, Vegas, back to Indy,
I'm gonna get,
Dallas.
Vegas.
Yeah, they're gonna that Allegiant Stadium. You know, the Raiders' new stadium. They're gonna have a Final Four there. That's gonna be crazy.
yes.
When are they going to start playing baseball in Vegas? Is that next year?
Baseball and bait. I didn't know they were even what the Athletics were moving there, right?
Brosky Bear.
mhm.
Yes. At the shoot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're playing in Sacramento for a couple years.
Well, they're due to get a football team soon.
Want to hear one of the biggest debacles?
Who is?
I think Vegas might get another football team, kind of like a little LA situation. There's such a big tourism market there. I mean, none of the people going to those games are Raiders fans anyways. It's essentially just like the LA scene. So I wouldn't doubt it if they put another team there, especially with the stadium they built.
Hold on a second. Oh man.
I'm in a blender.
Who's that?
That Tim Lincecum?
Is that Momo?
What is that
Take a real
noise?
close look.
I think that's you, Rob.
Is that Nolan Ryan? Who the hell is
Rob,
that?
I think that's you. The noise. Try unplugging your.
That was me in '73. That was me.
What is that
I think
awful noise?
I think it might be Rob because I can't hear his voice.
It looks like a fucking arrow.
Here we go
There,
again.
that should be better. Is that better?
Yeah,
Is that
you're
better?
good now,
It
Rob.
should be better.
Yeah.
I swear, I thought that was Nolan
That's Tim
Ryan.
Lincecum.
No, that's Billy.
Is that your
That's me.
hair?
Jesus, Billy.
He did have the Tim
Yeah,
Lincecum
you have the
haircut.
Tim Lincecum.
Hold on. Oh goodness.
I'm surprised you weren't throwing it underhand.
Jesus.
Huh?
Jesus. They had color
Yeah.
pictures back then.
That's racist. Don't be saying that.
You know what I meant. Come on.
Huh?
Don't put that evil on me, Billy. But listen, South Carolina, I mean, let's just be honest for a second with ourselves. I mean, head to head, they're beating you, Billy,
In what?
in football.
You haven't done it in 40 games. You've won 11 times.
Yeah,
what's
but
the
if
odds
we
on
win tomorrow, we'd win.
If-
That's what I'm
if-
saying.
If,
Yeah.
if.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
What
yeah.
was the percentage? Would you put $1,000 on that?
Yeah, if we played tomorrow, I might.
You might.
Yeah.
You didn't
walking
even
on
get
a
in the
highway.
Callaway's pick 'em.
I don't know anything about basketball, dude.
Oh,
It would have been a donation anyways. I'd rather send super chats.
Well, you would have picked Clemson just like the rest of us did.
Shit. I was on here telling y'all McNeese State has the best glue guy in the nation, and y'all didn't want to hear it.
Oh God!
I got laughed off the stream, and what happened?
You got laughed off the stream, and you were the one who laughed
Yeah,
last.
exactly right. I'm sitting there.
BBR
clutching.
over there talking about old Cam Boyd. They don't know who that is. BBR. He was a pitcher
Yeah.
for the. His famous saying was talking about going to Cleveland to pitch. He pitched for Boston.
Imagine if you had the glue guy on your basketball team. The glue guy, and your team also had the old hag, and you also had like the Texas A&M 12th man in the stands. And that was all part of your basketball program. You'd be unstoppable.
Hey, Chris Knight.
Really
Well,
would.
you got to have the Virginia Tech lunch box as well.
Hey, Chris
Oh,
Knight.
yeah. Can't forget the lunchbox with the dirt inside
Hold
of
on.
it.
Chris Knight. Read between the lines.
Billy,
That's messed up, Billy.
Read between the
All right,
lines,
well-
Chris.
look, gentlemen, we've had a good show.
If I can get down there to that game when we play them on August 31st, which I kind of doubt that I will, but it doesn't seem like something that's right up my alley. Plus, the tickets are really expensive when I
For
check.
which game?
I wouldn't mind trying to sneak out there on the sideline and kick that damn lunchbox over, or just steal it. Go hide it somewhere.
Listen, that thing is, like I said, Rob, he defended it. He said they love the lunchbox. I mean, realistically, anyone who's not a Virginia Tech fan,
that they have.
It's ridiculous.
I wouldn't do that. Shane Beamer's daddy started that. I wouldn't do that. Disrespectful.
I don't care if it. I really don't care. It's goofy as shit, man. Let's just be honest. I mean, nobody's going out of high school talking about I want to get behind the lunchbox. You know,
Papa B. No, he's not.
That's all you got to say. What, Tony Vitelli?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm ignorant to college basketball, so I hate a winner.
Listen, I got to get off here.
Yeah, me too, Billy. Go ahead and hit your exit. I'll go next.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, Billy.
Good night.
All right, there you go, Billy joining the program and heading out. All right, go ahead and talk about
go Gamecocks.
Well, no quarter zip. Come on, man.
12 and 20. To say. Well, how about this? Let me exit with this. Patriots signed Stephon Diggs. We finally got a wide receiver 1. And you know what? We might just take another wide receiver. And I think if we do, Drake May put this on the bookshelf of accountability. If we get a wide receiver with our first round pick, Drake May will be an all-pro quarterback. All right? And with that, go Gamecocks, go Patriots, quarter zip, use all your scholarships, you punk. You're the reason we only won 12 games. You suck. Shane Beamer.
All right, yeah. I would add that to the bookcase of accountability, but no one gives a fuck about the Patriots. So no. Just not working for me. All right, Jackpot, do you got anything else?
I'd like to see. I sure would like to see.
Oh shit!
I wouldn't mind seeing Nick Immanwori end up with the New York Jets.
I mean, he's gonna be good wherever he goes. So there's
yeah.
Well, we had a good show. I don't even know where else to go. We'll be back at it on Sunday night, right, Jackpot?
Without question.